Heavenly Father, we thank you because of this morning, the gift of life. We thank you for the celebration of the International Women's Day. We thank you for gathering us here today to discuss the pertinent issues concerning women in the world, and in Nigeria particularly. As we go on with this discourse, we ask that you take control and let your name be glorified. We pray that our discourse today will transform the lives of those who are anti-women in our nation and in the world at large, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. And to give hope to women everywhere they are, they believe in your name. Thank you, Heavenly Father. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate the prayers. So we'll go straight to introduction. I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Mrs. Agunobi. By the grace of God, the founder of Fabulous Minds Women Initiative. And we're here today because we have a cause to celebrating women and all that. So I'll quickly hand the microphone. Okay, she's not here. I'll just introduce my sister here with us. She is Mrs.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Ronke Omosen. I'm the founder of Jet Consults and also the proprietress of His Goodness and His Thank you.
Okay. I'm Reverend Dr. Kenneth Agunobi, the General Surgeon and a priest in the Diocese of Cuba, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, and the Medical Director of Nazareth Hospital.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Agunobi. I work with the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, and I'm a host. And I'm here to represent my DG, Dr. Joseph Chobo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Agunobi. I'm a project manager. I'm lead software engineering team. I work with a non-financial institution in the country. So I'm here to just contribute. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Theodora Obayeji. I am a writer and a skilled comedian. Why is it echoing? Okay. I am a writer and a skilled communicator, a strategic communicator. I'm also a family therapist. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ebono Okiti. I'm a businesswoman. I'm also the secretary of Fabulous Minds Women Initiative.
Oh my God, Carmen. Okay. Alright. Good morning, everyone. My name is Omotolo Fumlayo. I'm a data analyst and I'm online tutor. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Onyechi Doris. I'm an administrator and accountant with the Diocese of Cuba Anglican Communion, and I'm also the financial secretary of Fabulous Minds Women Initiative.
Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, let's quickly take, I don't know, the people that shared it to us, or it's just a short speech from my side. So, I'll start with saying good morning and welcome to this special International Women's Day talk show organized by the Fabulous Minds Women Initiative in collaboration with the Institute of Peace and Conflict Resolution. It is truly an honor to have you all here, whether in person via our live stream, which unfortunately will not teach them live now. So your presence, engagement, and commitment to this cause are what makes discussions this impactful and meaningful. Today we gather under the theme Accelerating Action, which is the 2025 theme for International Women's Day, to discuss an urgent and important topic: women as agents of change, action, and peace. This is more than just a conversation, it is a call to action. Change is happening, but the question we must ask ourselves is, are we moving fast enough? Women have always been at the forefront of transformation, building communities, resolving conflicts, leading businesses, and shaping policies. They are not just participants in change. They are the driving force behind it. From local activism to global peace negotiation, women bring unique perspectives that foster stability and long-term progress. However, despite their undeniable impact, women will still face barriers that slows down their influence in leadership, discussion making, and peace building. As Fabulous Minds Initiative, we believe that true progress comes when we break these barriers, amplify women's voices, and create opportunities that accelerate their leadership and influence. This is why our partnership with the Institute of Peace and Conflict Resolution is so significant, because peace and change are interconnected. An empowering women is a key to building a more just and stable world. To our online viewers, we encourage you to engage actively, drop your comments, share your thoughts, and let your voices be heard. Change begins with dialogue, and together, whether in group or across digital spaces, we can inspire action and accelerate the change we all wish to see. Let us make this discussion a meaningful one, filled with ideas that will ignite transformation in our communities and beyond. Once again, welcome to the powerful and inspiring conversation. Happy International Day, everybody. Okay, we'll quickly take a beginning address from our Regulatory Content Institute.
Thank you very much. As I stated earlier, my name is Agunobi, and I'm going to read the keynote address on behalf of my Director General, Dr. Joseph Ochogo. Peace greetings. On behalf of the Director General, Dr. Joseph Ochogo, the management and staff of the IBCR, I would like to welcome all participants to the Institute and extend our appreciation to the organizer, our partner, Fabulous Minds Women Initiative, for this laudable program. It is indeed an honor to stand before you today on this significant occasion of International Women's Day 2025, in a year that also marks the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, a pivotal blueprint for women and girls' rights worldwide, and the 25th anniversary of the UNSCR 1325, a landmark resolution that recognizes the disproportionate impact of conflict on women and girls and the critical roles women play in peace building, conflict resolution, and security. This year's theme, global theme, Accelerate Action, and the UN something for all women and girls, rights, equality, and empowerment, underscores the global commitment to ensuring that every woman and girl enjoys equal rights and opportunities, while also reinforcing the importance of empowerment in all facets of life. This is not just a call to action, it is a recognition of the fundamental truths. When we empower women, we build stronger societies. Today, we gather to discuss a crucial subject: women as agents of change and peace. This topic is not just timely, it is necessary. Around the world, women have played and continue to play pivotal roles in transforming their communities, mediating conflicts, and building bridges across different divides. Yet, despite their proven track record, as attested to by the United Nations Security Council, that stated that when women are involved in peace processes, peace agreements are more sustainable and lasting. Women remain underrepresented in formal peace processes, governance structures, and leadership positions. The question now remains, if we truly are seeking a peaceful and just society, then we must invest in it and educate and empower women, not just in words, but in concrete actions that upholds their rights, promotes equality, and ensures their full empowerment. The World Economic Forum reports that if we continue at the pace we are currently on, the world is most likely to achieve gender parity in 2158. That is 5 generations from now. Which is why emphasis should be on taking swift, decisive actions to achieve gender equality, empower and ensure women and girls' rights is ensured. History is filled with examples of women who have stood at the forefront of change and peace building. For example, women's movements helped to end the civil war in Liberia. Women also played critical roles in post-genocide reconciliation and the rebuilding of Rwanda. In Nigeria, from the northeast to the south, women have also worked and are still working tirelessly to heal communities torn apart by violence. One thing all these women have in common is the fact that they did not wait for permission to lead and take action. They took initiative, often with limited resources, but showed boundless courage. However, despite these efforts, women continue to face systematic, cultural, political, and economic biases and barriers, like limited representation in decision-making processes, economic and social inequalities, cultural barriers. When we talk about the economic and social inequalities, according to the IMF, Nigerian women represent 49.3% of the population, yet 70% of this percentage live in extreme poverty. Also, 72% of men are employed in wage jobs, while only 9.2 women are employed in wage jobs. Let's contact that, please. To change this reality, concerted efforts need to be put in to ensure women's rights are protected and upheld. Every girl deserves to be educated. Women and girls need access to healthcare and equal opportunities. Legal frameworks must be strengthened to prevent sexual and gender-based violence and discrimination. The full implementation of the National Action Plan on UNSR 1325, which encourage more states to develop and implement their state action plans and even develop local action plans. Economic empowerment programs and training for women and girls, which should support grassroots women's movement. There are so many women working in the grassroots, but they are never recognized. In closing, as we celebrate the International Women's Day 2025, let this not be just another conversation. Let it be a running point. Let us all commit to breaking barriers, ensuring that every woman and girl can rise to her full potential. As Hillary Clinton said in 1995, women's rights is human rights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's something to really deliberate about, and we really need to look into it. So women, we cannot, I don't know how long it's supposed to address the issues of women. We even have that is going on social media now because of our gender, and we are fighting it with our mouths, with our four lips, trying to see what can we do. But then I hope that soon women will be given the rights we deserve as it should be. So this is why Fabulous Minds initiative was formed in the first place, to look at issues like this, to see how we can help push ourselves and help grow ourselves. Let our voices be heard out there. And I know that our relationship with the Institute, can be one of those driving forces too that can help push us do the right thing
and pursue the aims of the association and the institution together. So quickly going into the questions that brought us here today, which we really need to address for the world to see or hear from this little conversations we'll be having here. We'll quickly dive into them. We're talking about women as an agent of change and then peace. And then the theme of 2025 International Women's Day is Accelerate Action. Accelerate action in diverse areas. It's not just about, we're talking about peace, we're talking about financial stability, we're talking about so many areas. Yes, people are talking about gender equality, but I have a limit I go when I discuss gender equality, because in African context, it is very misunderstood. Thank you very much. So, but in this particular, from your own end, I'll quickly ask you, can you give us your own understanding of change? What's your interpretation of change in this context? What do you understand by change? Women as an agent of change.
Thank you so much. For me, when you talk about change, I view change as a transforming process. And by that I mean a process where you are able to transform known norms, structures, even policies, attitudes, and all in it to create a more just and equitable society. That's my own idea of what change is. And when you talk about women as agents of change, we've always been a force of change, whether it's in our homes, our communities, even in our churches. Because as far back as I can remember, you can talk about the Fulani Ransom, you can talk about what's her name, migrants. They were not extremely educated, but they knew change had to happen. And they took the initiative, even sometimes to the detriment of their families and the things they believe in. Women, as agents of change, could be mediators. These are the jobs we do on a regular basis in our homes. When the children are fighting, we're able to mediate. When family members are a quarrel, most times when the men can't get it right, they revert back to the wives, the sisters, their mother to do. So I think it's something that comes naturally to us. So I think it's something that comes naturally to us, but in order to be able to fully have the effect or the impact we hope to have, there has to be a lot of effort put into training, because a lot of people have those capabilities, but they don't even know what to do with it. Sometimes you need to just build their capacity, make them aware of their rights, and that is why it's important to work in partnership with the men around us, because we can't just do it alone. I think in the Western world, they refer to us as angry women because you are trying to prove your point. They think you are angry, but it's not a matter of anger. It's just, putting your emotions in check and forging forward with a particular purpose in mind.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll quickly rush to the same question, because she's a family therapist. From the angle of the family, I would like you to quickly look at and just let us know what's changed in this course.
All right. Thank you so much. I will always have on the importance of women as change agents from the background. You see, if we can play our roles very well as mothers in the family front, you realize that we'll have little work to fight out there. It's not always easy to try to change a grown man, an adult. We want a man to change from what he has known. But we have the privilege, the opportunity as mothers to start nurturing our sons and daughters on their rights as humans, breaking down the barriers of age-long cultural barriers, where a woman is technically raised just to tend to the home. plenty of it. You're going out, you're telling your daughter, wash the plates, do the dishes. Then you tell the younger boy, please take care of them. You know, we are programming them to be limited, to see themselves as just objects or instruments of house cleaning and all that. So as mothers, before we raise our voices to say we want change out, we need to start changing the status quo in our homes. The way we talk to our daughters, the way we talk to our sons, the way we relate with them, the kind of instructions we give to them. That is one major place we can actually begin an active change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Mr. Ajuku nodded his head. I don't know if you have something to say about the change we're discussing.
Okay, thank you everyone. Every single point that has been mentioned so far is very valid. And when we sit down to look at this, I want us to not look at this as a zero-sum problem. It is not about women need to be empowered and the easiest way to bring men down. The fact is that men and women are like Siamese twins. They are tied together. As one goes, the other one is going. We must take that, we must, some of these things coming from the global north, the way they've thought. But we need to sit down and ask ourselves, what do we want? I will take an example from what she just mentioned. A different perspective. For those times, men were expected to lay their lives down for everyone in the family. So when we call, we say the boy should take care of all. But the additional thing the man would have done is to say, as an adult, you should be able to wash the plates, cook for yourself, clean your house. It's not a female thing, it is an adult thing. So we need to, as we discuss, take these things and evaluate these things and say, what do we exactly want now for change? We are talking about accelerating change. You cannot accelerate something you do not have a measure for. How do you know something is changing if you cannot measure it? Let me bring it down to our context. We cannot sincerely take the measures that come from the global north, World Economic Forum, without measuring our own. We have to. We know in our context there are biases, cultural influences that make it up. So the way we go about making change in our place, it means we have to look at these as opportunities. Design our own communication. Our host mentioned that women were seen as aggressive and really they're not. They're just dating their parts. I agree. But that means that between the two Siamese twins, male and female, we need to work on our communication in our context. In my place, that's what they call oriki. When a wife wants to get something from the husband, he starts praising him. The man won't know the tongues and sells the whole house to her. That's influence. So what happens to it? But when the man wants to get something from the wife, he changes from Korea to Russia. There are things we have. In my place, the power of one that is so powerful is no more than the challenges. The unintended consequence of change in the North, global North, and how they've done it is that we have families being broken. That's not what we want. We want sustainable families. We want to let men see both male and female as the same in terms of value, but recognize their uniqueness in terms of their diversity. And to do that means we have to look at our context. We have to say, I'm going to be measuring this. I want to build capacity. Capacity is not only in going to school. School is good. But capacity is building a lifestyle of continuous learning. I'm going to learn. I have a mind to learn from you, from you, from you, from you, all the time. And change is women as an agent of change in our beginning is understanding the female, the woman, the man understanding, the woman understanding, to communication, so that every single external force that causes an opportunity for change can be optimized and maximized. It's very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I just want to, Reverend Dr. Onediko, I wanted to ask a question quickly. I know you still have this, but let's quickly look at, in your own view now, what do you think women can do in shaping their public opinion about women as agents of change? Or let me put it this way, how do you think women can play, what do you think women can do in playing or shaping their public opinion and influencing decision making about them?
All right, thank you very much. You see, when you talk about women, the role they play, the role the women play has been that of agents of change from time immemorial. So when you talk about change, you can have the physical changes we see around. We can have, when you talk about, a few years ago, Abuja was just a forest. But most of those that transformed this city were seen to be males, the architects, engineers, and all that. But they would not have been able to do all the marvelous jobs they did without the microsomal segment of the society whose efforts were not seen. I'll give you an example with the construction site. The work is going on, the laborers are hungry. Those women there providing food, providing soap, providing water, but actually the real agents of change. Without whose contribution would not have, would have hampered the beautiful edifices and structures you see. So I see women, just as a scientist, when we talk about the basic unit of life, is the cell. The basic functional and structural unit of life is the cell. So no life would exist without a woman. The woman is the basic, most important structural component of the society. So when they play their roles well, it is something that is inborn. Just like you mentioned, the roles they played in Liberia, different parts of the world, about women riot and all that. Very salient but important roles that men usually overlook. And by the time men play their roles well, in fact, most of the well-trained human beings in the world were raised by women. So when women play their role, consistently, and say, my mother taught me this, my mother taught me how to do this, you are gradually shaping the public opinion. You are infiltrating the society and the world with the right values that transforms, the values that add meaning to life. And as women that are able to, after use my secondary school experience as an example. Most of the notorious boys in school were actually brought down, trained, converted to good boys by female teachers. Just in place of Christ. That's the homeboy that is always causing problems. So they make them their friends, they bring food for them, and they tame them. And some of them today have become ministers and they say, if not Mrs. So. I would have. But you see, men have the opposite. They use force. Action begets action. But women use the other technique. They show love, they show some kindness, they show compassion. They understand. So you can see that the women are actually those, if a country that is wise should capitalize on the influence and the innate abilities of women. All these conflicts that happen, all these things, if we use them well, we'll find out that they will not be in existence. So for me, women have been playing their roles. They have been playing their roles and they have been shaping public opinion. And those of us who were well trained by women, when we see men who are misbehaving towards women, we say, this is not what my mother taught me. This is not how it's supposed to be. Like the issues we have in our Senate today, we'll say, no, this is not how it's supposed to be. Okay, so women have been playing their role. And the only thing they need is to be, for the men, most of the men who are chauvinistic, to understand that life will not be enjoyable without the role of women in the society, without giving the women the opportunity to play their critical role. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. But I still wanted to continue with this. Let's talk about allyship. How can a man, or how can men and women work together, understand, to help work together to hold or build an equitable society side by side?
Yes. The first thing we're going to work on is the removal of cultural barriers. Very, very important because when two people cannot work together unless they agree, there shouldn't be the feeling of superiority. I see, in fact, each time I want to drive out of my house, my first child is a girl. Each time I want to go out and say, who wants to go with me? The second child is a boy. She would like to go, but she doesn't speak out. She just restrains herself. And the younger brother would say, and I called her, I said, look, you are older than this boy. You don't allow this boy to overshadow you. So when I say I want to go out and, I want to say, Daddy, I want to go with you. Of course, I will pick you to go along with me. So men should see women as equals. What I tell her that I want to train in such a way that what my boys can do, they can also do. Okay? It's very rare to find female organists and all that in churches. I'm training her, she's playing my organ. I started training her first before I added the brothers. So we should give the girls the opportunities we give the boys. And they actually do better. They actually take things easy. I have female colleagues who are surgeons. They're very rugged, they're very strong. Okay? And then people tend to use family life and pregnancy and all that. I say yes. I tell people that the physiological conditions of a woman can slow her progress in life, but should not be allowed to deny her the opportunity of contributing. Yeah, so a female doctor who graduates can have 3, 4 children and then come back to specialize as a general surgeon, orthopedic surgeon, do whatever, and still contribute to the highest level of discourse and highest level of enterprise formation. So that is something that we men need to know, that there is no difference between the and the women, and that without the women, there will be nowhere. We are not equal before God. And without they, of course, we will be nowhere. So that is the starting point. Then the second one is to remove, apart from cultural barriers, remove governmental policies that inhibit women. I quarreled with a colleague who asked a female doctor, why did you come for housemanship? Why did you get pregnant when you know you are coming for housemanship? And I was mad at him. And I was right. I said, look, her physiological nature should not prevent her from attaining the heights she wants to attain in her life. Is she the first to come for housemanship with pregnancy? No. So we need to remove official barriers against women, right? And even create special avenue, special opportunities for women in the workplace. I would not need to put, I would say, entry requirements must be made. I see some advice like that. Entry requirements, one female, one single. So why did you do that? Okay, we need to see the whole system as one. There are offices that don't tolerate pregnant nursing mothers coming with you just give them a few weeks break, a few months break, and then expect them to leave the child at home and come to work. How productive is a mother going to be when her child is crying at home? So we need to harmonize the system. Why should you suspend a woman or deny her some tasks because she's pregnant? Right? So these are in politics. You can see what is happening in the National Assembly. They said that we have only 4 women. And the 4 women are being gathered up, we've not even heard their voices. We should allow women to have more opportunities. These are frameworks that must be put in place. And then the women themselves must also play a very important role to work together. A situation where some women, very few of them, they base themselves because of pecuniary advantages and work on the sides of the men against fellow women is also a barrier. So cultural, institutional, all these barriers have to be removed. But one of the most important is this from the culture. We got our policies. Alright, so if we remove the culture, say inheritance rights, for example, say I am a new man, so the day my father dies, I only share his land to my brothers, and I leave my sisters out of it. That is nonsense. We should have a place in the father's compound. Okay, so when we remove all these barriers, then policy changes. That is how we work together. Okay. And then the men need to understand that the strengths of women differ from the strengths of men. And then the capacity, the enduring capacity of women is greater than that of men. And that is why I get to a point where I want to get angry. My wife will say, no, come now, I have not got into that. Because there is the capacity. So when I got to my limit, she carries on. So when we understand this, the world becomes a better place. And there will be peace in the society, there will be equal rights, inclusivity, and everyone will be carried along. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You are in the education system. Just from your own perspective, just give us what you think on this particular issue.
When we talk about how can a man and a woman work together to build an equitable society, I want to start from the biblical point of view. If we go through the Bible and we study the book of Genesis 2, we'll discover that when God was creating, after He created the whole universe and created the man, He discovered that the man was not complete. The man needed helpmates, the man needed a companion. Now there were so many animals there, and I believe those days the gorilla and the baboon should look more of a woman. But God, in His wisdom, discovered that there is none of them that took the face of a man. And therefore He led the man to sleep and brought out the rib. Now where am I going to? I don't think living in a single way is going to make us to be complete and help the society. Because God has made it even in creation of man that a woman must be beside. So when we are talking about building an equitable society, we need both the face of a man and a woman. Though we have some barriers that we need to also try to remove, just as the pastor has said, sorry sir. But I would like us to understand that building this society, we must learn to, one, collaborate. Some men are very, very difficult to talk to. Some of our husbands, they believe their opinion is the best. Their opinion stands. They operate in an autocratic system of government. So you cannot imagine when you have such a person in a vital role, the same thing is going to play in the office. So just as my brother said, in Yoruba land, we use what we call iriki. When you want to get something from a man, not even your husband, you can cook a story. Now, in my own place of work, what I normally use is, I call any strong man Odogu. So, and I noticed that immediately you use that word, there's this what will I call it? There's this feelings this man has. Immediately you call them Odogu. You bring down their ego, and I don't just know what that name does to them. But I've been able to do, I'm telling you out of practicality. I've been able to get through my way by the of that name. So I noticed that for us to have this, we must learn to communicate. Communication is very, very important. As an educationist, you can't even talk to your students if you don't know how to communicate with them. Sometimes they throw tantrum. If you say you want to follow them with what they do, you will lose them. So most times I do tell my mentees that we need to be patient with each other because nobody is perfect. If God is not patient with us, I don't think anybody is meant to live. So you can imagine communication is the core. We need to have this kind of society we're talking about. Then we are talking about also, we need to mention collaboration. Very, very important. Now the family is the smallest unit in the society. And things are beginning to go wrong and worse because the family itself is wrong. Now, when a child, I love the illustration my friend gave. I came from a home, let me use myself an example, where my husband believes the woman does everything. So, and I am of the opinion that you treat a daughter the same way you treat a son. Because I have seen men even do well in the kitchen more than some women. So I try to do that myself. But because of the person I live with, he believes, no, this is a woman's job. But I love it when I travel. The boys are forced to work. So I now prefer even leaving them. Because I discover when I'm not around, they'll be forced to do those things I ask them to do. So collaboration is very, very important. We can't get it right if we don't start from the family to the church, that's the place of worship, to the workplace. We need to learn what is called collaboration. Team play is very, very important because we cannot, an island cannot survive. So we just have to know how to teamwork. Then we also need to know how to build our social network. Now, social networking now is what is really helping us. Thank God for the internet. You social network, you learn from different cultures. I've been able to learn so many things from the north. I've been able to learn so many things from the east. And I try to put these cultures, their values together to get my own value. Because there's some history from my place where the east will have some history. And it was a barrier to me, something that hindered some of my progress while growing up. Because I felt the eastern people are strict in this area. The north are this in this area. But with time, I discovered that this culture is really helping them. Now, if we leave our own cultural value and import this foreign culture and just take everything whole and sinker, it's not going to help us. Yes. If we are talking about equality, we are mentioning equality. That does not mean the woman is equal to the man. No. The man remains the head of the family, but that does not stop him from giving the woman the room. Just as the pastor has said, I work with a boss that whenever he's angry, his employers can leave the place. But his wife has a way of calling them back behind the man and saying, please, can you just be patient? You know, director
discover that what has been keeping that business is the woman. But the face everybody sees is the man. So you can see that that business will not do well if the woman has not been supportive. So just to conclude, I would love to also begin to really talk about it, the society, even in the House of Assembly, wherever we find ourselves, that when we're talking about equity, we're talking about having a sustainable, balanced society, we need to really give each and everyone its place. The woman has a role she plays, the same thing to the man. I will mention just a few. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Really, it's so much that I enjoyed. But because there was this place of that people that really strikes us, I really want to understand, just like you spelled it out, that there is that suiting, how do I call it? It's a suiting, it has a way of suiting the men, having the men when you hide them. You understand? That's Odogo stuff. So it's on both of it, sir. You both explain it to us, perhaps we don't know, so that viewers at home will learn, and we gather guests will also learn from it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is an attribute of God. God in my personal prayer life, I found that when I sing my hymns and I praise worship God, the answers come really faster. And when I mean, I say, oh God, I want this, I want that, I want that, you know. So God the man was created in the right image of God, just like the woman. So this attribute of when you exalt somebody, it feels good, is there in every human being, even in the ladies. Okay, when you tell a lady, you see a little girl and say, what is your name? And she doesn't know you, she will not answer. Or when you say, oh, I love your shoe, you're beautiful, you see her smile and relax. You know. So praise singing, praising someone, puts the person in a good mood. It elevates the mindset. And when somebody's mindset is good, you can actually get whatever you want from that person. It opens the door for you. Okay? So you see people going to an office, the same thing with the woman. When the woman is the boss. So when you are two officials, men who are too official with the woman may end up not getting what they want from the woman. Madam, good morning, madam. I brought this file for you. Okay, keep it there on the table. And when you come in and say, madam, wow, this is your hair. I wish my wife would have this type of hair. Wow. She feels nice. You say, Ajayi or Nelson, you have a way of just making me, softening me. That is it. So it is psychological. It's emotional. Okay? So there's no magic about it. And that's why people, and that's what we should train our children. It's a very important part of training, psychological training. Enter into people with sweet words. And then you open up conversations. It goes a long way in fostering relationships. And when you come and say, hey, I need this, the person will first of all walk up. But when you come in a friendly manner, oh, I love this your green outfit, it's beautiful. And you don't know me, you say, oh, thank you very much. The next thing you will go on the mind, who is this person? What is he trying to get, before you open up to the person. So it's natural. I hope my brother will say more.
Perhaps in our hair.
All right.
I think I have to answer that. What Reverend say, I support it 2,000%. And there is another angle to this. Let's look at this. If 80% of men generally go that way, there are about 20% that you try to, and it seems not to work. So the question is, what is it? Let me tweak it. It is about celebrating the thing that the gender, regardless male or female, celebrates. So if the lady takes time to work on her appearance and feels that this dress I got is a very unique one. It just matches how I feel. And you come in and you mention the dress. And even if you cannot speak proper English, you say fantabulous or fabulous. All of them, that dress is dressing. It is vibing. It is catchy. You know, it is because you stumble on exactly what that person celebrated, that person opens up to you. We call that affinity bias. In other words, you're coming close to what I have an affinity for, so because of that subconscious because we open to you. The same thing for those 20% men. The catch is that the thing you're speaking to for those 20% men is not actually what they're celebrating. That's why communication is key. In communication, you need to learn how to actively listen. It's so important to meet the person face to face so that you could observe the person's body language and then be able to find out what are those things that person really desires or wants. We've not been taught about that. We don't celebrate that. We are not conscious of that. And by doing that, you get that progress what you're looking for. So those are the two exercises that we extend to all preferences.
I would like to add to what he said.
Okay, talking about allyship, collaborating with our male partners. Sometimes our attitude as women towards this change, advocacy, is very important. You cannot just meet a man and say, I want to be equal with you, we must be equal. No. He's going to resist. He's going to fight it. That's the human instinct. But if you come in a strategic way, like they said, trying to, yes. When I attended the first seminar, the seminar organized by this group, when I got home, you need to see the way I was recounting the event to my husband. Oh, they said this. They said women should take care of their home. They said, and he was interested. So at the point I said, I want to be one of them, he couldn't. He could not fight. He had to support. Do you understand? Strategy, not fight. What we see outside there today is like there's a war between male and female. And that is not good for the change we seek. We need to be strategic, we need to be calm. So when I was about to go for the first meeting, I met my husband and said, we have a meeting today. I would want you to give me transport. This is how we draw them into the move. It is how we draw them into advocacy. We know that some men will be very difficult, but let's try to be strategic when we think about this change. Even in communication, in conflict resolution, you cannot solve any problem by attacking the other person. The person will come with defense. And you know you are a very stubborn man. Why? Instead of saying, oh, I did not like the way you treated me today, I wish you would talk to me in a more calm voice. You will see, he will apologize. Even if he doesn't, you at that point, you will see that he will mellow. But if you meet him and you attack him, he wants to defend himself. These are aspects we have to consider as women who are determined to drive change in the society. Thank you.
Thank you. I think all the points raised are quite valid. I'm a researcher. And I can't afford to be sentimental when I talk. Yes, we are partners. And the meaning of allyship is when you don't have skin in the game, but you are intentional about supporting underrepresented and marginalized groups. It's so easy to think women are aggressive, but I wouldn't say we are aggressive. I don't think we are being rude. I don't think the Formularian and securities of this of them demanded permission that please can you stop taxing women. They tried that, it did not work. Several attempts were made to negotiate with the colonizers and the king. It did not work. Even, I think there was even more increase until they had to resort to the protests. And look at it. In the Nigerian context, nobody can argue with the facts. Women are marginalized. Even when you look at the Nigerian budget, the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs actually gets the list. And when you go to say the women problem, it is a women problem. And then sometimes you've lobbied, you try to be reasonable, you try to play the game the way they want you to play it. It doesn't work. And I'm sure we've noticed a steady decline in women participation in politics. I think this is the lowest we've ever been. We need partnership, yes, but I don't think we need to, I don't know. The issue is, even in health, many mothers lose their lives giving birth. In a modern world, but in 2025, we are advancement of medicine because attention is not being paid. There are societies, there are cultures where women cannot just really wake up and say, I'm going to the hospital. They need permission of their husband. And if he says you are not going, you are not going. Even when doctors come knocking and say, oh, we are giving free medication, we want to attend, they say no. And no means no. Odogu doesn't work in situations like that. Because we're talking about lives. We have lots of out of school children, but the highest percentage are girls. See, I'm a government official, I'm trying to be governmental, but I'm also I'm a gender. The issue is, we've been sidelined for the longest time in all aspects and areas. In family life, in politics, in education, in health, in economics. That's why people write books like Feminization of Poverty, because women constitute the highest percentage of people that live in extreme poverty. So, yeah, we are partners, but it's sometimes very hard. Because when we say equality, and that's what they used to hold us. They say, oh, you want to be equal with us, you are trying to be equal. Nobody ever said anything about equal. That's why the language is changing towards equity.
Yes.
And a picture that comes to mind is, you have a 10-year-old, you have a 7-year-old, you have a 3-year-old. They are the friends trying to watch a football match. And they are standing on equal ground. But we all know the 10-year-old is taller than the rest, right? He can see the view perfectly. The 7-year-old, possibly too, can see. And the 3-year-old, he can't see. They have equal ground. Equity. What equity means is recognizing the fact that the 10-year-old is tall, the 7-year-old is tall, but the 3-year-old might need a stool to stand up to see what is going on. And in this scenario, women are the 3-year-olds in Nigeria. We are nowhere to be found in politics. Even the affirmative action, they never fulfill the quota for the number of appointed females that you can have in political offices. Look at it, even, I don't know, it's something I'm quite passionate about. I was listening, my body was, was pinching me. But the issue is, we need help. And it's not enough. The bill was thrown out because some people were like, oh, you want to be equal. My wife will now say she's equal with me. People need to get educated. There are resources out there. And then when you try to educate them, okay, let me come down to being a researcher. in conflict situations, we know women and girls are affected differently than men and boys. When terrorists, insurgents, raiders, or anything come to attack your village or your community, a man can run away. He would have even run away before he remembers he had a wife. But a woman will remember her children. She can't leave her children. She can, even if she's able to get the children, she remember her aged mother, father. Everybody is a concern to the woman. And this makes her more vulnerable to attack, either rape, beating, killing, anything. But when they are deciding on how to settle this, how many women do you find in this area? Go to the IDP camps, except maybe until recently. Everybody is making decisions on what to take to the IDP camps. Oh, we take bag of rice, we take cassava, we take this one. Nobody considers that a woman needs a sanitary pad. Nobody kind of recognizes that even in this meal that you are distributing, what a nursing mother will eat to bring out more breast milk should be different from what the other people should eat in the community. Do you know what women have to do sometimes to even get those things? They sell their bodies. So many things are going on. And if in 2025, and I think that was the recognition, that global call, accelerate action. Do you know what it means? And this is not a matter of bringing foreign cultures or whatever into Nigeria. That's not what we're talking about here. But it is a fact. If the whites, if people that live in more modernized communities can be saying that at the pace they are going, they will not reach gender parity till 2158, what year do you think Africa will achieve that? We have 5 years to the end of the proposed SDGs, equality for all, education and all. Are we anywhere near that? Men are partners in progress. That's why the UN Women has the E for She program. We recognize men that work with women to do. There are some men, they are gender advocates. They understand it.
Yes.
But unfortunately, a lot has been done, but we need to still do a lot more. People just are not getting it. People are just not getting it. Women shouldn't be dying on hospital beds. They call it maternal mortality. In 2025. Let me stop.
Yes, and if I may chip in again, that is where all these things lead around the cultural barriers. We need to understand, like I have problems with some of my patients, and when they're going for surgery, my husband is all around to sign. I said, no. The charter is, once you are an adult above 18 years, you can actually sign consent for the surgery. It is your body you are going to violate, not your husband's body. So another thing is for the women to begin to realize what their rights are. And when we talk about, when we talk about equality, I keep telling the figures around me, does not mean that if I'm going to pull down this building, then a woman too should be able to push down this building. That is not. Equality is not about our innate physiological and biological capabilities. Because when you talk about equality, can I get pregnant? So it is not about your biological issues, It is about access, opportunity. Equity, that is it, inclusivity. If 10 men are appointed on the board, there shall be 10 women. I shouldn't begin telling me, these are women, how can you put her? What name is that? I say, a woman, they will slow me down. No! This is where we need to get it right. That what is good for men is equally good for women. That's what that's all about it, the opportunities. And women have a way of using their own opportunities well, even more than the men. Because women are more sympathetic to most of the costs we have. If we have women presidents and women governors, they are more sympathetic to the children in the IDP camps. They can't sleep at night, but the men don't even care. The men don't care. That's why the society is in a state of turmoil. So we need to understand that it's not about biology. Oh, my wife says she's equal to me. Of course, she can never be equal to you. And you can never be equal. You can never. You know, so what is all about opportunities. So if you are given a good job, a woman should be given a good job. That's what we're talking about. If you have the right, okay, a right to be upheld, that of a woman should also be upheld. Look at what is happening in the Senate. If it were a man that did what Natasha did, would it have been done in this direction? Because they know that they can meet themselves and deal with themselves. These are the things we're talking about. And it's unfortunate that in this time and age, we are retrogressing. In fact, when I saw the caption, accelerated action, I have said, is it actually accelerating the action or to initiate the action? We need to initiate the action because the action has been jettisoned. It has been thrown on board. In previous administrations at the concept of democracy, we had more women in government. The Agunobi were as representatives and all that. And they did significantly well. They transformed the nation's economy. But today we are not even seeing that few in government are sent away after a few months, and the story, and they're not even replaced by fellow women. You see, so these are issues that need to be addressed. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam, and I really appreciate what you have said. Madam Bruce said something that I want to point out. I believe in life that to everything we have exceptions. When we're talking about the issue of the dog, my brother said we have 80% of men that wants it. We have 20 people. No matter the tools we use, it does not work. And the same exception we have all of that. But something I want us to look into is we in our own area trying to see what we can do to accelerate. I think before we can even talk of the government, politics and everything, let's come down to our own level. There are so many women you mentioned that are not educated, or some of them they are educated, but because of this cultural barrier, they cannot exhibit their education. Now, a woman that has been trained from home that she must listen to her husband, even if the husband is going out in the morning and say, don't step out of this house, she can't, no matter the level of her education. Now, I'm a mentor, and I encourage women a lot. I've never heard from a pastor's wife telling another woman that don't leave your marriage even if it means you died. Yes. This is what I heard. I was there, it's not somebody told me. So I told the person, is it a right statement? So you prefer her to die in an abused marriage than stepping out, helping herself for the future? So you see that because of that mindset, cultural barrier, she does not know what to do at time. But if we can take it upon ourselves to begin to have a mentorship class, we can easily identify these women in our churches, in our home, the environment, the community, in our places of work. Now, the reason why we could not have replacement to those women that were removed in the government side is because we do not have people that can produce something similar to them. I want to believe. But if they are going to have good mentorship, if there is going to be need for us to really raise our voice, then we have people that we can always tell. Thank God the First Lady is a politician. So if she has the opportunity to listen to the women, she asks of their opinion to select people of their choice. You know that you have a mentee. It's going to be easy for you to deliberate or bring out somebody that you have mentored. So I think one of barrier again, or something we need to really do to tackle this issue is for us to think of how we can begin to mentor each other. Now there's this other thing they call Women Helping Women Initiative, because it has come to the notice that some women love pulling other women. So instead, if we can now go into that
mindset of women helping women. You see some women go extra mile to see what they can do to help people. Yes, very women. They don't look at the benefits. What they want to do, what they are interested in is making impact in the life of other person. Now the woman that the husband told her not to step out, she needs another woman to convince her that this thing is all about your life, not that of the husband. She needs another woman to tell her that if you die, this man will marry. If a man is telling her, she will not understand because she feels the man. So if a fellow woman explains to a fellow woman, it makes it more easier. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A lot has been done. Steps have been taken. Nigeria is a signatory to the United Nations Security Council 1325, Resolution 1325, and the resolution, specifies that women should, they didn't just come up with it. They realized that in conflicts, when you involve women in peace processes, negotiations, not only do they achieve results, the peace is more lasting, sustainable. So what the resolution is put on is that the involvement, the inclusion of women in all peace processes, because they are also stakeholders in conflict. And because Nigeria is a signatory to that, all countries that signed that resolution, that signatory to that resolution, were charged to go back to their countries and develop what we call a national action plan. And Nigeria, so we know how to do these things, came back, and the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs is the one they were able to come up. I think we are about to launch the third map now because it's renewable, I think every 4 years. And they developed the National Action Plan. And currently, there are 16 states in Nigeria that have gone further to develop their own state action plans. And I think they have like 2 or 3 states where they have even gone another step further by developing local action plans. And I think, of course, the work is always continuous. Other states should be encouraged to develop their own. Most states in Nigeria have signed the Child Rights Act. There is the VAP. But I think a lot of people are just not aware of the rights they have by law. Because the VAP protects vulnerable people. Those that have been engaged in sexual and gender-based violence, different kinds, it consists of different things. The jail terms, the fines, and everything. But most Nigerians are not aware of these things. So there's still a lot of work to be done. The government they are trying with the support of international NGOs, even the UN Women is one of our major partners. But of course, a lot still needs to be done. I would never encourage anybody to undermine their husbands. But you as a woman, before you're a wife, you're a human being first. And you have your rights. And marriage shouldn't take you away. Because, as we know, when we talk about gender-based violence, it's not just when someone beats you up. It could be psychological. It could be financial. You went to school, you graduate, you could work, and one husband tells you, no, it's not possible. Don't work. It capacitates you. It's a form of abuse. There are so many different aspects to these things. And I can understand that because we have situation, and the government has even gone further. Our armed forces, the Navy, the Air Force, even NSCDC, Customs, Correctional Services, they all have gender units, gender desks, gender units, all of them. Part of the work that was done was initially you go and report a rape in the police station. It's a mother will take your report and like, hey, what were you wearing? What were you doing outside at 7 o'clock? Those kind of things. But it's because of all these changes now when you go to report cases, it's a woman that will take such reports. A lot has been done. Well, obviously we still have ways to go. And that's why initiatives like this are also very important. The role of mentorship cannot be understated.
Yeah.
Coming together, forming advocacy groups cannot be overemphasized. Lobbying. When you go to the United States of America, when you go to their Congress halls, you see a lot of people. Not all of them are congressmen and members of the House and their staff. Lobbyists, people that have agendas and they can lobby from one office to the other. But no doubt, our culture did us a number. And that's why even our religious leaders, our traditional leaders, everybody is a major stakeholder, the media, because conflicts are still reporting too. You can't just say, tell me, we went to this community, 50,000 people died. You should be able to aggregate this number of women, this number of men, this number of children. You understand? So there's still a lot of work to be done. But not like that. I was just trying to say this so that you realize that action has been taken.
Yeah.
But no doubt. And the political will too has to be there. You understand? I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our team, has even tried. You have more women is trying, but a lot still needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A lot has been said today. But I want to ask, from everything we said, let's rate it from 1 to 10. How effective can we say that women have been in their roles as agents of change? How effective? I'll start with asking our men, how effective? Rate us from 1 to 10.
All right, thank you. From 1 to 10, well, for me, I will score the women 10 because each time that we each time they were given the opportunity, they did what they were supposed to do. And they have not failed us. As I said in my earlier remarks, the women add emotions to what they do. They add sensitivities. You see, when men gather, just like President Trump and Zelensky went in the Oval Office, the tempers were high and everybody, and they had to end that meeting abruptly. If women were there, they will tell you, do you know how many grandsons have died? Do you know how many pregnant women have died? And they will start weeping for the pregnant women. And you see, there will be peace in that meeting. And they say, what do we do about our pregnant sisters? So they bring in their own being, psychologists. The men are about power tussle. The men bring up their ego, into whatever they do, and then they don't make a headway. So for me, the women have done that. And why I say that there are inactions actually is because it is not about, I am a surgeon. And as a surgeon, I am a practical person. So if you have an acute appendicitis and I take you to the theater, and I say, we have a functional, and I will tell you the patient, you see, we have an oxygen tank, we have an anesthetic machine, everything is in place. And I keep telling you a story without removing the appendix. Have I played the role as a surgeon? That is why I said I need action. So you can establish women desks from Gariki to Airport Road, you see them. But what happens when I bring a rape victim? What is the end result? The 8-year-old girl that